the Minecraft movie is not good. It's not good, and it's not a good movie. But I will say, it was funny. This is my review of the Minecraft movie. Correction. This is my review of a Minecraft movie, and it will be divided up into 3 parts. Non-spoiler, spoiler, and Christian thoughts. So, we start off with the non-spoiler review. Okay, so this was a funny movie, and admittedly, you're kind of seeing 3 reactions to it, right? You're seeing the I didn't go watch it reaction, you're seeing the I hated this reaction, and you're seeing the I loved this reaction. And I loved this is mostly from children, I hated this is mostly from adults, and I didn't watch it is not that common because this movie, let's take a look at the box office numbers real quick. This movie made $160 million in the US and $300 million worldwide. Now that's the biggest opening of the year so far, and also the biggest opening since Deadpool and Wolverine, which was last summer. So that will tell you one thing about this movie. We're going to be talking generic, right? This is not spoilers. So this part you can watch if you haven't seen the movie yet and you're deciding whether to go see it or not. It was funny to me. I laughed at a lot of the jokes. Now, is it dumb? Yes. Are most of the jokes really, really stupid? Yes. But is it okay to laugh at stupid jokes sometimes? Yes. If you're coming into this expecting a deep plot, you're not getting that. The plot is not very deep. The characters are not very deep. The characters are also not very nice, nor are they likable. But that does lend itself to some of its own kind of jokes. There's no characters where you're sad that they're being ridiculed by everyone else because you don't really like any of the characters that much, or at least I didn't. Now, this movie has a little bit of heart, but that is not the point of the movie. In fact, it's crammed into like 3 minutes of screen time, basically. So don't come into this expecting anything good. It's really, really stupid, but it's funny, and it has enough Minecraft references in it to be interesting to Minecraft fans specifically and people who like Minecraft. It has enough Minecraft in it to be worth labeled a Minecraft movie, but the point of the movie is not Minecraft. If that's what you're hoping for, that's not what this is. However, let me say again, it is really, really funny to me. I've seen the people who were saying this movie wasn't even that funny. Okay, Mr. 45-year-old man, this movie wasn't written for you. This movie was written for children and teenagers. I will say there is some jokes that did not land for me, mostly because they were innuendo, and I don't find that funny. But the jokes that did land for me landed really well. I will say this movie was kind of divided up into 3 parts. The beginning was really funny. The middle got pretty boring because the characters weren't that deep, and you need deeper characters to carry you through a movie. Because I didn't care that much about the characters and was there for Minecraft and jokes, the middle of the movie got kind of a little boring because less of the jokes were landing for me. But however, back at it, closer to the end of last third of the movie, it was funnier. The jokes started landing a bit more again, and the end sequence was really good. So that's it for the non-spoiler portion. Let's move on now to the spoiler section of the review. Now it's time for the spoiler section of the review, which is the fun part, because that means I can talk about specific things that I liked and I didn't like. Now, I'm going to start off with a banger. The Technoblade homage was great. Partly because of the reaction in the theater. We had a couple people applaud, which was really cool. And just, the homage itself was really cool. And the fact that Sebastian Hansen, who plays the kid, Henry, I think is the name of the character, the fact that it was his idea is also super awesome, because it just shows that the producers of the movie knew who the movie was for, and they knew that it was this actor's age demographic, right? A little bit younger as well, and a little bit older. So the fact that they were willing to listen to this guy, this kid, Sebastian Hansen, and use his input was great. Now, for the performances, we'll start off with saying the actor who played Dawn, she really didn't need to be there. And this wasn't something I realized until after the movie was over, was that she literally did nothing. And she had maybe 4 or 5 lines. She had maybe 4 or 5 lines, and she was part of some pretty funny jokes. But at the same time, she really didn't need to be there at all. Plot wise, she did nothing. Now, talk about the plot. The plot involves Steve trying to get the Orb of Dominance, which, by the way, is from Minecraft Dungeons. The Orb of Dominance is what makes the main villain of Minecraft Dungeons turn more evil, or I think it really just gives him the power to execute the things that he was wanting to do before anyways, and that villain being the Arch Illager. That made me want to play Minecraft Dungeons. And while we're on other game, like spin-off game references, the final battle reminded me, and the guy I went to the movies with. Now that was a fun experience going with my friend. I mean, there's pictures and stuff, but it reminded both of us of Minecraft Legends, which is obviously the other spin-off game besides Minecraft Dungeons that provides a lot of lore and basis for the game. So that was cool, the Minecraft Legends and Minecraft Dungeons references. But back to the plot, they're trying to get the Orb of Dominance, which is the blue orb cube we see in the trailer. And that is also what transports them to Minecraft. They're trying to get that and keep it from the head piglin lady, Mulgosha, and she wants it to have the piglins take over the overworld, which is also, again, very similar to Minecraft Legends. Now, this plot had nothing. They basically had to go to Woodland Mansion to replace a piece of the Orb of Dominance. I think it was called the Earth Crystal, that was broken at the beginning of the movie, and that was pretty much the whole story, was them getting there and them getting back and then blah blah blah, and the Orb of Dominance changed hands a bunch of times. So anyway, what I have to say is about these characters is that Jack Black, Jason Momoa, hilarious. Emma Myers, underutilized. Sebastian Hansen, as good as he could do with what he was given. And those are kind of the 4 main characters. Really, it was Sebastian Hansen, Jack Black, and Jason Momoa who are the main characters. And let me just say, it felt like all of these characters pretty much just were really selfish. Now, Emma Myers' character was not that selfish. She mostly just cared about her brother, who was named Henry, and was Sebastian Hansen's character. But as for those 3, like I said, the Dawn, she did not have any personality. She did not have anything that could have been personality. However, for the other 3, Steve, Garbage Man Garrison, and Henry, those 3 were all really, really selfish and only out for themselves in the entire movie. And that is why I said that none of the characters were very likable to me. This movie, you go to laugh at the characters, and not necessarily laugh at the movie at the characters, but laugh at the jokes that the movie is making, because the characters, you just don't really want to get invested in them. They all are using each other. And this will come in my third section, which is like the Christian thoughts about this movie. But as far as it didn't look great, I was real tired of the animation by the end of the movie. Like at the beginning, the CGI was fun. Oh, that looks weird. But, like I was saying, in the middle part of the movie and by the end, I was just like, I'm tired. Like, this is so colorful that my brain is tired of it. So I obviously the next night watched some Star Wars Andor, which has no color, but that's beside the point. This movie is colorful, right? And there's a good amount of references to Minecraft stuff. The end credits scene, which we stayed for, waited like 4 or 5 minutes for, was a little underwhelming, but it was cool to introduce Alex. Final thoughts, I will say, I hope they don't make a sequel. They probably will because there's so much money. I hope that they go for a different style of movie that doesn't involve these characters just because I don't care about them. And while this movie is funny, real funny, it's not a good movie. So, final thoughts. Should you go see it? Should you go see this movie? I would say go see it once and never think about it again. It's going to be hilarious the first time you watch it when you're in there with all the other people in the theater. But if you're watching this movie at home by yourself, that's real sad. That is real sad. That is what I will say about a Minecraft movie. Now, Christian thoughts. For me, this movie just kind of encapsulated the idea that this movie was made by sinners and it was made for sinners. There's a good amount of innuendos in there, and I'm told that a lot of innuendos were actually taken out of the movie to make it more kid friendly, and I'm glad they did that because the amount that were in there is kind of already too many in there. But like I was saying, it's a very secular movie. These characters have very little hope for anything besides materialism, and you can tell, like I was saying, they all really only just think about themselves, and that is something that is the basic part of humanity. That's why capitalism works as well as it does. That's the best way to motivate people, is to tell them that what they're doing is helping them. So, as far as any kind of religious messaging in this movie, there's nothing. Like I said, it doesn't think much deeper than funny joke, and I'm not going to spend much more time thinking about it. After this video, I'm pretty much said everything I wanted to say about the Minecraft movie, and I don't really want to talk about it anymore. So, I mean, if y'all comment and you're like, hey, more Minecraft movie content, do a breakdown of, some stuff that was in it, I might try and remember. But the farther away I get from this movie, the less I want to watch it again. So, this has been my review of a Minecraft movie. I would give it, I've been saying 3.5 out of 5 stars, so I guess that would translate roughly to 6 out of 10. So 6 out of 10 stars. I know that's the same I gave to Sonic 3, and I think that I do feel those are similar. These are similar. Sonic 3 had a much better villain, but that was also a third installment. Doesn't have to introduce us to characters. Comparing these two movies is kind of out of the question. I think that they're too different. The goals of them are too different. But in the end, Minecraft, funny movie, bad movie, not good movie. Let me rephrase that. I don't think that it's a bad movie, but I also really don't think it's a good movie. And I also definitely think it's a waste of the Minecraft IP. That's why I'm glad they named it a Minecraft movie. I just hope they don't make another Minecraft movie and never go down the animation route of giving us an actual cool story like Minecraft Story Mode was. I've been Judah Eyler. This is True View Radio, and I will see you next time. Farewell, friends.